what we found in the book was that people's propensity to carve the world up into us against them predicts a wide variety of policy opinions, from who we should let into this country, whether we should wage war, whether we care about military casualties or foreign casualties abroad, to whether we should reform welfare and for whom, whether we should reform immigration, and whether or not we should legalize same-sex marriage. That ethnocentrism, this propensity to carve the world up into us and them, predicts people's policy opinions across a wide variety of domains. Well, Donald Trump is an excellent case of ethnocentric rhetoric. That is, anytime he speaks, usually it's about us against them. That is, for example, thinking about protecting the country against Muslims, right? Against, thinking about building a wall between the United States and Mexico. That is, thinking about ways of carving up us and protecting us from them.
People are pouring across the southern border. I will build a wall. It'll be a great wall. People will not come in unless they come in legally. Drugs will not pour through that wall. As far as other people, like in the migration, where they're going, tens of thousands of people having cell phones with ISIS flags on them, I don't think so, Wolf. They're not coming to this country. And if I'm president, and if Obama has brought some to this country, they are leaving. They're going. They're gone.
Now, this kind of rhetoric we show in our book activates ethnocentrism. That is, gets people who are more ethnocentric to come on board and support particular kinds of policies. So we were surprised that Donald Trump is actually fitting into our mold so well, that using his rhetoric, he has been able to marshal support for his candidacy. Some people find it surprising. We actually don't. That is, he's pretty much using our book as a playbook. One of the stories that I would like media to cover more is about what Donald Trump's rhetoric does on the other side. That is, not everyone is ethnocentric. There are plenty of people who do not carve the world into us versus them, who think about people generally or think about other values that matter to them in politics, who care about tolerance, equality. So Donald Trump, for as much as he appeals to some ethnocentric voters, he also repels others. And that's the story I think the media has not quite picked up. That the media has focused on his rise within the Republican constituency among some core voters, but there's a whole set of people who find his ethnocentric rhetoric to be quite repelling, and who, if he ends up being in the general election, will do their darndest to make sure that he doesn't get elected. I would predict that when it comes to the general election, ethnocentrism will not carry Donald Trump into the White House. I predict that he will have to moderate some of his stances. He may risk then losing some of that ethnocentric constituency, but in a face-off between a more moderate candidate, it's no question that he'll face a real challenge. One thing I'd mention about this campaign is that it has gotten ordinary people talking about politics in a way that I don't think we've seen in quite a while. So campaigns, I think, are these moments for the country to come together and not just pick who's going to be elected into the White House, but think about who we are as a country and what our values are, what we stand for. One thing about Donald Trump is that he's given people a lot to talk about. Some people support him, find his ideas appealing. Others find them abhorrent and find themselves angry at it. And what political scientists have found also is that anger is a real motivator in sparking action. We know that lots of people turn out to vote for reasons of duty. They feel that it is their obligation as a citizen to vote. But we also know that there are short-term factors that can encourage people to get out the door. And emotions like anger, like enthusiasm, those things can propel people into the voting booth. What also matters is mobilization. So what the candidates and the parties will do to get people to get into the voting booth or to vote early or absentee. Yes. So there's lots of reasons to expect that turnout could be particularly high in this case, simply because people are talking, people are engaged, people are thinking about it. sometimes voting against is a much more powerful motivator than voting for.